Hello everyone, this is Vikram and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will see how to format outputs in Golang. In case if you're trying to print a variable or a constant using print function, so we can actually format that print into various formats. So Go basically supports several printing verbs designed to format any Go values. The package FMT is responsible for implementing formatted input output with functions that are analogous to C's printf and scanf. So if you're from C background, you would know that the printf function is used to print the output and scanf function is used to read the input from standard input devices. And printf function in Go FMT package formats the output according to various format specifiers. You can also go through the FMT package documentation to understand various formatting verbs or specifiers available. And by default, printf function writes the standard output. So which means, you'll be able to see the output on the terminal. So for example, if you want to print the type of the value, so you can use the specifier %t, so which is basically used to print the type of the variable. And also %v can be used to print the value of the variable. And to print the integers or to format the integers, we can use %d. And for X encoding, let's say, I have an integer called 123 and I want to see the hexa value, sorry, hex value that is base, basically base 16, right? So you can use %x that will print the hex equivalent of the decimal. And for formatting all the floating point values, so you can use %f. So it will have default width. I'm going to show you what is the meaning of width. So if you're coming from programming background, while printing the floating point values, you would come across something known as 5.2f or zero, something like 0.2f and all. So what is this 5? What is this 2 after the decimal? So we are going to understand the meaning of this. And for basic strings printing, you can use %s, and for the double quoted strings, you can use %q, and for all the pointers, you can use %b. Again, it depends upon the requirement. So we're going to see the other format specifiers when we come to those topics. Similarly, you can also print the octal values, that is base 8, values using percentage small o, that is also there. So let's see this particular screenshot here. So I have a variable age, which is of type integer, and I have a value set to 33, and name, which is string data type, set to Vikram, and a boolean called is working. The default is set to false, and a float 32 value, which is the name of the variable is salary, which is set to some value. And for printing, so for using basic print, you can call print function from standard FMT package. And we have ln here, which is nothing but a new line, which means once the statement is printed, so automatically it inserts a new line. So for example, here I have a static string, so name is colon, so which is double quoted, which means it will be printed as it is. And you have name here, so the name will be printed. So whatever name that you have declared, so that will be printed. And age is, so whatever age that I have in the code, so that will be printed. So this is without any format specifiers. But if I want to know the type of this variable called name, so I can use %t. But the thing is here, you cannot use print ln because print ln will print and it will insert a new line. Since %t is a format specifier, you should definitely use print f. So that is formatting. Since it cannot insert a new line, so after the format specifiers, I can basically insert /n. It's not after the format specifier, it can be at the end of a string. So I'm going to show in the demo. So %t indicates the type. So if I just use name, so the %t is going to print the type of this name. So basically name is a string, so it is going to print the string. And for example, %v is used to print the value. Example name, sorry, age here. So age is 33, so it is going to print 33. And here I have a statement here. Employee name is %s and age is %d. Since employee name is a string, so I've used %s, and age is an integer, so I've used %d. And here, if you see, I've just used the format specifiers, and they will be replaced with these values. So here name, comma, age. Since I have two format specifiers, %s and %d, So I'm using two variable names here. So name is going to be replaced by %s and age is going to be replaced by %d. And similarly, %d is to just to print the integer value, which is a base 10 value. %o is to print the octal values. So I've not mistakenly used int here, but it is an octal value. So it is base 8 basically. So the equivalent of 12, the equivalent value, octal value for 12 is printed here. And %f is floating point value. So we are not talking about with and all for now. We are going to see in the official documentation, and then I'm going to show it. So salary is floating point value. That's the reason I'm using %f here. And is working is nothing but a boolean. So I have to use small t, and capital T is to know the type. Small t is to print the boolean value. And here you can also convert a decimal into binary values using %b. So for example, 14 when converted into an binary, so you will be getting um I think so 14,110, I think. So 1110 should be 8 plus 4 plus 2. Yes. So it will be 1110. So that will be 14. So that binary equivalent will be printed. Percentage C is for the character. So for example, 65 is an ASCII value here. 65 when you convert into so the equivalent value, the character value for 65 ASCII code is capital A. So that will be printed. So %x will print the hex value. So 456 is being a decimal value. So the equivalent hex value will be printed. %s is to print the string. So here %s is to print the strings. So here if you see the escape characters will be basically ignored. But if you use %q, it is used for double quoted strings. So in this case, the escape sequences will be preserved. Anyways, I'm going to show you the demo. And you also have something known as sprintf function from the standard FMTP package. So we know that whenever we are doing fmt.printf or fmt.println, the output is going to be printed onto the standard output. So that's the default behavior. But let's say I don't want to print to standard output. I wanted to format a string and I don't want to print it anywhere. For that, I can use sprintf. So it is like formatting a string. For example, if I just say fmt.sprintln, and I can basically give a string here, like name is static, name is something like that. So I missed name, name is something. So basically this is a wrong statement here. So I should use something like name is and then name, is something old. So basically this entire string will be formatted and it will be stored back to a variable. So here I'm calling the variable name as s, but you can call it anything. And I'm using the shorthand notation. So otherwise, first what you have to do is you have to just say var s string, because fmt.println is going to give you back a string. So which means whenever you're storing it back to a variable, it should be a string. And this is the use case for sprintLn. So you're going to create a string, but it is not going to be printed unless you use again fmt.print ln or print to print s. But there is also this function from standard OS libraries, os.stdout, and then you can give the variable that will be printed to standard output. So this is the advantage of using sprint. Sprint f is also there, sprint ln is also there. So this is to create a string and then save it back to a variable, but it is not going to going to get printed onto the standard output unless you use another function to print it out. Now let's see a small demo. So for this, I'm going to refer the official FMTP package documentation. So here you can see the general verbs that we have: %v for the value, for %t for the type of the value, and %t for the boolean, b for boolean, sorry, b for base 2, d for base 10, that is a decimal, o for base 8, that is octal value, and q for double quoted strings, %x for hexa, and U for Unicode format if you want to print. So you have a lot of format specifiers. You can refer this official documentation. And also if you're printing, F, that is the floating point values, you will also have I think if you scroll to the bottom, you would find, yeah, so here it is. So percentage f is basically used to print the floating point value. So with the default width and default precision, so it will be printed as it is. I can also use percentage 9f. So 9f here in the sense, so 9 will be total width, which means the whole, the floating point. So before the decimal, after the decimal should be 9 in width. And 0.2f means, so it whatever default width you have, that is uh, the complete float value. But after the dot, only two digits will be allowed. That means it's a precision of 2. 9.2 means, so the overall width of the floating, so which means the before the decimal and after the decimal should be only 9 digits, but after decimal it should be 2. That's the precision 2, something like that. So we are going to see. And if you click on the functions, you can go through this sprint, um, yeah, sprint, sprintLn, sprintf. So basically, this sprint formats and then stores the result back as a string. Okay, so it will not be printed directly, onto the standard out, but you need to use other functions to print it. Okay, so this is the difference. So let's see, how to do this programmatically. So let me call a simple file called, main dot uh, go, and then let me call it as a package main, because that's the requirement. So every executable starts from the main package. So format fmt, because I'll be using format package, and void main. So let's start declaring some. So let's say variable age int, that is set to 30, and var name of type string, that is set to my name, right? And then var is whether this person is still working or not. It will be a boolean, because so basically there will be two values, whether he's working, then we have to set it as true. If he's not working, then it is set to false. And then we have variable salary, so which is always a float point value, which can be 32 bits or it can be 64, because float 32 and float 64 are the supported ones. So let's uh, call his salary as this. Then using fmt dot basically basic println, I can say something like name is colon, and then I will print the actual name, um and let's say, and sorry, and age is colon. So this is a static string, and age is something like this. So let me, so here we have, sorry, it's not void, it is func, and we are not actually printing is working and salary, so that's fine for now. So let me go run main dot go. So it says it's declared, but it's not used. So let me comment these two for now, and let me run it again. So here you'll get the output like name is something and age is something, because I just added space here. So this is without any formatting. So using a standard print ln. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let me start to print the type. So let me uncomment this. So fmt dot print, I can basically use ln to add a new line. So what I'll say is is of type. Then the type will be printed here, that is percentage t. But in order to replace this percentage t, we should use age. But here, so this is basically wrong, because so let me show you. So again, these working and all are not valid. So let me actually save this and run. So go run. go run main.go. So here, this is an error here, because here you're trying to actually call a format specifier, but you're not actually using printf function. So should be printf because you're actually using format specifiers. And let me also add the type of, um, so name is of type %3, and then I have to give the name. So I'll show you the use of slash in here. So if you see, it's in the new line. So we did not have any new line between these two print statements. So age is of type int, name is of type string, but there is no um, a new line because we don't have print FLN here. So you need to add a new line. So after these statements, so the new line will be automatically added after age is of type something is printed. Now you can uh, just run them, so they will appear in the new line. And of course you can use %v to print the variable, so I'm not going to show that. And %d, so let me uncomment this. So fmt dot printf, so I'll say value of is working. So I'll simply say working is, so working, since I'm interested in value, I'm just using percentage v, and I'll add a new line. And again, let me just copy paste this. So I'm interested in printing the decimal equivalent. So value of age is %d, so that's the decimal, uh, not name, so it will be age, right? And so let me also print the value of salary is %f and salary. So this is where I'm going to show the width and all. Okay, so let me run this, go run main.go. So you'll see that value of is working is false, value of age is 30, salary is this. Okay, so this is with the standard precision. And okay, so let's say if I want more precision, like I want only 2 digits after the decimal, then I can say 0.2f. So the width is the default width. Okay, so it is 91500 dot. After the decimal, you will see only 2 digits here. Or else I can simply say, let's say, so what is the total width here is 3, 5, including dot, it is 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9. So let me just say um 9.2f. Okay, so 9.2f, so which means I should not find any issues here. But if I keep um increasing this, like let's say 15, so which means overall which should be 15, and after decimal it should be 2. You can see that. So if you calculate these spaces and the digits including dot, so the overall width will be 15 here. So in order to format like this, so you need to use this. And also you have octal equivalent and all. So let's say fmt dot uh, println. Okay, fmt dot sorry, printf. So the value of mm, let me say maybe 10. I want to get the decimal or the binary. Okay, so the value of 10 in binary is, let's say, or I can say the value of age. So age here, I can simply say %d. So value of age in binary is %b. So I have to say here age, okay, and age, because there are two format specifiers. The value of age is here it is 30. Then in the binary format, you can see it using so what do you say? This is the binary equivalent, right? And I can also see the octal equivalent. So octal, hexam. I can the value of A is in uh, octal is percentage 0. That's basically base 8. Okay. Similarly, you can also get the hexa using percentage x, that is again base 16. Okay, you can see in octal it is 36, in hexa format, hex format, not hexa, sorry. So X format it is 1E. Okay. And also I can get the character for the decimal equivalent. Let's say character is, let's say percentage C. Okay, so what is the value that I'm going to give is, let's say probably 66. So what is character equivalent? I mean, the character that is equivalent for 66 ASCII is nothing but it is P65 easy. So if you refer the ASCII chart, so you're going to understand this. So percentage B is for Boolean, B for the binary, C for character, X for hexa, and S for string. So basically, let me just say fmt dot print f. So that's the format specified. So let me value. Let me just simply say percentage s slash n, and let me give this string here. Let's say string is Vikram. So here, if you just try to print, so basically, the sorry character after that slash n is required for the new line. Okay. Yeah. So here, if you see, it is just printing Vikram here, right? And also, let's say I want the whole string to be printed with the double quotes. Then I can use something like I can use escape sequences like this. So in this case, what will so percentage is sorry, not here. So I need to, yes. So what is the meaning of this is, so I'm saying, so here ignore this what do you say, the double quote here. So slash double quote in the sense, so ignore that. Again here slash double quote in the sense, ignore that double quote, which means it will not be interpreted. And the whole the last ones, the string, again the double quotes, which will not be printed. So if you run, you will see that Vikram is printed like this. So those will not be those will be escaped basically. But if you use percentage q, similarly, so here these are used for double quoted strings here. So these will be printed as it is without any escape sequences. Okay, so this is the difference between percentage s and percentage q. So not only this, so we also have as we already said, so you have sprintf function, so that will format and then it will just basically store it as a string. So let me copy paste this thing. Let me delete this whole thing. Okay, so here, so we have constants. Name is Kim, age is 22. And what, so let me just delete this for now and comment this for now. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do fmt dot print f here. Okay. So percentage, so print f, that is formatted. So it should be capital P. Percentage s is percentage years old, which means Kim is 22 years old, and then new line. Okay, so this will be printed. So if I run it, so it will be printed. But I don't want this to get printed. I want to store, because I'm actually formatting this into a specific string. So what I wanted to do was I'll say something like final string or s something like this. So I cannot use equal to, because final str is unknown type. So if I use colon equal to, this is just like shorthand notation. Again, it should not be printf. It should be s printf. Okay. So this should be s printf declared but not useful, but not used. now I can use fmt dot print and then final string to print it. Otherwise, if I don't use this print statement, what will happen is, so this won't be printed because here we are formatting it and storing it back as a string. So if you don't want to use this shorthand notation, what I can do is I can simply say var final str of type string, and then I can simply use equal to here, and then basically I can print it using this. Not only this, if you don't want to print like this, you can use io dot write string, and then whatever final string that you have created, you can write it to os dot standard out. Okay, but you need to make sure that both os and io packages are imported. Now if I try to run it, so basically we are printing final str onto the standard out. Otherwise, so we use this just to format it and you store it back to reuse it internally. That's it about formatted printing. In the next video, we'll talk about how to format, how to convert various data types from one type to another type.